know, it's important to have great leadership in our lives, and we have such an individual with us today. She is a leadership and life coach with a company that she's started called Power Focus Coaching. Please welcome Anny Tenbult to the show.
Thank you, Nikki.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much for being here, and I love the blue. I like the cobalt blue.
Well,
Beautiful.
it's communication.
That's right. That's what I learned today, is the color of communication. Awesome. So I know that we have something in common. We got started in a little bit of leadership skill development early in life. I was a brownie.
Right.
And you were?
In 4-H.
Anybody know what 4-H is? The 4-H club? Okay, so they know all about that.
Okay.
And so that's what got you your
Well, it was
feet wet in leadership.
It was somebody that believed in me.
Okay.
You know, because I was the leader of the entire county. Because I grew up in the country, and so it was a leader from the agricultural, society, and there is a leader in every county in the counties. There's always a leader, and they are the head of all the 4-H clubs. And this leader believed in me and sent me to a leadership camp. There's only one person picked out of the whole county, and I was the fortunate person. So he saw something in me that, it helped an awful lot. I mean, I learned how to goal set when I was 15 years old. And I'd say that's something that every 15-year-old, really, I would love that they would have that opportunity.
Okay. Did your family recognize the leadership abilities that you had?
They knew I was different. I've always done different things. I got bored with most jobs. In my 20s, I changed jobs every year because I would get to the top level within a few months. And so then I would stay there because I was making money, and I was having fun. And I was living in Toronto at the time. A lot of fun in Toronto. But I wanted to move ahead. I really, wanted more. And so that's why I moved back to Ottawa. That sounds strange, moving from a bigger city to a smaller, but Ottawa has something that's unique. They have more recreation. It's a clean city. There's more bike paths here. The ski hills are close by, and my family actually lives out in the country outside of Ottawa, so it drew me back.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And when did the company start?
I'm trying to think. Officially in 2002, but I've been on this journey since, like I said, I was 15 years old.
In 2002, you created Power Focus Coaching.
Yes.
And you reached out to the community, and what kind of services do you offer?
I work with entrepreneurs and, small business owners and, mid-sized businesses, because I work with management as well. And what I like is seeing people grow. It makes me feel good when they grow. And I know they say coaches, we're not supposed to get involved, but I'm a human being. And I really, really love when people grow from where they are now to where they can potentially go. They basically, everyone can move ahead. Doesn't matter who we are. But we all have blocks. I'm still working on myself, and I have a coach.
Okay. I always wondered, do coaches have coaches?
I wouldn't go to a coach that didn't have a coach, because how are they growing? How are they moving ahead? Because at a certain point, then that coach is you're not gonna be able to work with that coach anymore if they're not growing. I'm constantly taking courses, constantly being coached in all areas, not just in business.
It's really interesting. I was at a Change Leadership Conference in Toronto in May, and I met John Maxwell, who I absolutely adore.
Oh,
he's such a breath of fresh air when it comes to management styles. And he talked about disruptive leadership. and which I really enjoy, that you have to really stir the pot to get, people out of their inactivity and not be apathetic about what they're doing, which kind of appealed to me. But he also says something important about empowered people empower others. A really good manager helps the next person to get to the next level even better than them, and then they move on to another level. Would you agree with that?
Oh, definitely. You've got to change things up. Take a chance. Leaders always take a chance. I mean, they've got to have courage to do something different. You don't want to be the same as everyone else. I mean, if I was the same kind of coach as the next person, then why would they go to me? I've got to be something different. One thing that I really like doing is working with the brain. And there's different parts of the brain, and by the different questions that you ask, and I work with colors, and I work with numerous different methodologies that I've been learning over the years, and whether it's with your business or with your personal life, you have the answers in your brain.
Everybody has the answer.
That's right. What I try to do is have the question. So sometimes it comes from somewhere else. I have no idea where that question came from, but guess what? The person comes out with the right answer. I go, wow. I'm trying to be calm when I go, yes, they got really a nice answer, because they now are, they're aware of what their block is. Yeah. But I do emotional charge release, and that's something different that most coaches don't do.
Emotional charge release.
Well, when you're getting coached, emotions come to the surface, right? It's something that you weren't used to, and those emotions, we're emotional human beings, and no matter what it is, it comes to the surface, and you want to be able to release it. And I do different methodologies. Some of them are little meditations, some of them are prayer. It depends on where the person is, because I don't choose the tool chooses them. And then the person can at least release those emotions and move ahead.
Right. Whether they be negative or positive, it's all good.
Yes.
Yeah. And it gets them to where they need to be eventually.
That's right.
Awesome. So where can people find you,
Anny? I'm www.powerfocuscoaching.com, or Anny with a Y at powerfocuscoaching.com. Or on Facebook, it's under my name, Anny with a Y, Tenbult. I'm a Dutch background, Tenbult. Or on LinkedIn. That's, working with business owners or managers.
Okay, fantastic. Anny Tenbult, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. We'll be back. Joining us here at the Nikki Clarke Show live at La Creole Express 61 Wellington Street in Gatineau, Quebec. And we have the founder of Legal Prep. Please welcome Anna Robson to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. So tell me about Legal Prep, what that is, when that started.
It started in 2011, and it's a mediation firm. It's the first mediation firm in the world. So what happened is I organized a bunch of mediators, and I made sure that everybody specializes in their own field of conflict resolution. So as it was before, everybody dabbled a little in every type of conflict. So I wanted to organize it, because after years of experience with different conflicts, I realized that each conflict requires its own gut feeling, it requires its own experience and knowledge about the red flags and where the conversations go. So then I made it a rule, so everybody who works for me and with me specializes in that conflict that they're working with.
So the mediation process.
Yes.
And that involves you stepping in and being a third party for people that just don't agree. They just, it's better to have someone who is impartial, steps in and...
Mm-hmm. Well, mediation, basically, the grassroots of it is assisted negotiation. And so what we do is we don't only work with conflicts that are already developed and manifested. We work with groups and people and individuals who are in the uncomfortable situation. They're having issues at work, at home, in their neighborhood. They know they're uncomfortable, but they just don't know how to have the difficult conversations. They don't know which words to use. They don't know how to react appropriately. So make sure that it's resolved and everybody moves on. So when those feelings fester, they usually call us to help them either find a strategy to train them or come in as a third party and assist in the negotiation.
Okay. Can you think of a time, say between families, that you had to step in and be a mediator?
Yes. One of my specialties is intergenerational conflict.
Intergenerational
Yes,
conflict.
no, that's different than elder mediation, which I know is a more popular version of mediation.
Okay.
Intergenerational conflict happens between usually families who immigrated to Canada from another country. So the parents still carry the old ways with them, but the children are already more Canadian. They went through the Canadian school system, and they started they married into different cultures, and they're raising their children very differently.
Okay.
And there is a lot of fighting, a lot of misunderstanding. Everybody is very upset when they have to have holiday weekends together, and so they want to know how to find a way to negotiate and a better understanding.
What are they fighting over, property or?
You know, it's not usually property. It's usually more about the respect and how everybody's being treated. It's always about feelings. Money, property, they're all associated to values. They're the quantifier of the feeling. So that whoever is fighting, they say it's about property, but it never is about property or money. It's always about feeling of neglect or the disrespect of the parents feeling disrespected because they gave everything, but now they feel that the child gave away, you know, their culture's upbringing for something new and better and shinier.
Okay.
So there's a lot of misunderstandings and just a lot of yelling and door slamming, basically, you know.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
And you experience all of that
Yes,
gamut of emotions,
absolutely.
I imagine. Yeah.
Absolutely, and it all seems very big and daunting when you're in the middle of the fighting, but it's usually I can resolve it within a couple of hours.
So that's a gift. So what has prepared you in your life to be a good mediator?
You know, I've always been trained to work in law, and it started as being a shield, a weapon on behalf of my clients. And then I realized that by being a weapon, I'm not helping them. I'm just propagating that that continuous fight. So I found a better way to help people every day in the community, not just the big corporations that always have access to mediators.
Right.
I wanted to be in the center of the community so people know that they don't have to be uncomfortable in their neighborhood, in their home, within their family dynamic, within their community dynamic.
Okay. All right. So what's next for you? Do you go and do any education pieces? Do you have seminars or workshops?
Absolutely. We are always holding seminars. There's a few coming up in September for sure. And we are right now hiring and expanding. So I'm hiring mediators at this time. And
what kind of education do you need to become a mediator?
Well, a mediation is a license that you obtain.
Okay.
So you have to go through the ADR Institute of Ontario, so Alternative Dispute Resolution Center, and then get a license. And that's trained and then a license.
How long does that take to prepare for that?
At least a week. So it's a very intensive, very week long, and then you get qualifications above and beyond, of course. But just to get started, you spend 1 week.
Is it a very busy profession?
It's very, very busy. Yes, there is a very big shortage. There is a lot of waiting lists to get onto mediation circles. So
a lot of sore feelings.
Yes.
That need to be sorted out through a mediator.
People are so used to thinking there only have two options: either not ignore the problem or litigate. So now that there is this new option in the middle of finding a way to, resolve
before it gets to the courts.
Before it gets to the courts, and resolve it, find a way to move on, and has been I find quite an interesting change in the community.
Okay, excellent. And where can people find you?
Everywhere on social media. Yes, I have a website, legalprepottawa.com. There's a Facebook page, Legal Prep, and they can email me always at anna@legalprepottawa.com.
Awesome. Okay. Anna Robson, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. What we got?